Chapter 561 My Promise to You. Part 5. After resolving the issue of the gate between the two realms, Xiandao handed over this so-called superior-grade immortal artifact to Xiaoqi. Let Xiaoqi handle it. Xiandao doesn't have that much need for immortal artifacts. Whether it's a high-grade immortal artifact, a mid-grade immortal artifact, or a low-grade immortal artifact, Xiandao always believed that the best one is the one that suits him best. The ones that suit me best are the Great Wilderness Meteorite and the Amethyst Sword. Xiandao didn't study the grade of the Great Wilderness Starfall in detail, but anyway, this immortal artifact was very powerful and sturdy, and he felt that it was neither low-grade nor mid-grade. It might be a high-grade item, or it might be a top-grade immortal artifact. Xiandao was too lazy to investigate in detail. He would wait until he found it inconvenient to use and felt he needed to replace it before getting a new one. He's enjoying it now, so that's fine. As for the Amethyst Sword, it is even more powerful than the Great Wilderness Meteorite. It was meticulously crafted for Xiandao by the Forging Mountain Range, and its material is the rare Netherworld Purple Mountain, which is the best part of the Netherworld Purple Mountain. It has a promising future, and Xiandao would never give it up. After resting for 7 days at the Heaven and Earth Money House, Xiandao found Xiaoqi and asked, "How much of a gap is left before we can unseal the 7th mountain peak?" The question about the gap refers to resources and treasures, which Xiandao needs to understand clearly. Xiaoqi knew all about these things. When Xiandao asked, she immediately replied, "There's still a lot left, but if I sort out the nearly 5,000 contracts in Songqian and find out the consequences of these breaches, as well as recover some of the things we lent out ourselves, that should be enough." Upon hearing this, Xiandao immediately made a decision. Prepare all the contracts and move them out. They've been cultivating for a long time and they need to go out and see the world. Xiaoqi immediately ran out and quickly brought back a large stack of contracts. Xiandao then struck the bronze bell hanging at the edge of the square. Knock, knock, knock. The sound of the bell echoed in the Heaven and Earth money shop. Xiandao rang it 3 times, then walked to the steps of the square and waited silently. Those who were in seclusion opened their eyes. Those who had experienced this before knew what it meant. They immediately stopped their practice and went to the square. The newly joined Lonling King and Giant King looked at each other in confusion. They came out of the house and saw everyone flying towards the square, so they followed along without really understanding what was going on. Before long, the square was filled with people. Qianxin Monk, Lucifer, Moon Angel, Battle Angel, Archangel, God of Light Tian Guangming, Wu Xianer, Old Taoist, Qiu Bai, Demon Frog, Northern Prince Gong Yu, Li Wei, Huang Zhou'er, Murong Longqing, Titan Giant, Poisonous Python, Zero Wu, Jean Wudi, Chaos Dragon Crocodile. Xiandao looked around and realized that he had quite a few subordinates, and they were all very promising. "Master!" Dozens of people shouted in unison, a truly spectacular sight. Xiandao nodded in satisfaction and said, "I've gathered you all here today to clear up the contracts of the Heaven and Earth Bank. I have over 4,000 contracts here, nearly 5,000, which is a lot. You can choose as many as you like. My only requirement is that you clarify the contracts for me within 3 months. Kill those who deserve to die, and take the consequences of breach of contract." Xiandao said coldly. "Did you understand?" Xiandao asked. "Understood," the people below shouted in unison. Xiandao gestured for Xiaoqi to place the contract in the center so they could choose for themselves. Tian Guangming was the first to step forward, cupping his fists in greeting to those around him and saying, "My good brothers and sisters, I'm the first choice." Regardless of whether others agreed or not, Tian Guangming took away 300 contracts all by himself. He wanted to do more. Help your master share more of the burden, so that you can boast about your achievements to your master. Besides, the contracts in Songqian are not very difficult for Tian Guangming now, and he is making rapid progress. The second person, the third person, the fourth person. Contracts were taken away one after another, totaling nearly 5,000 contracts. After everyone shared the money, by the time it was Lonling King's and Giant King's turn, Only 50 contracts remained. Since this is your first time joining, take a small amount to get familiar with the job, Li Xiandao said to Lonling Wang. Lonling King and Giant King divided the contract into 50 parts, with each of them receiving 25 parts. The contracts have all been divided, so go ahead and come back in 3 months. Li Xiandao waved his hand, dismissing them. Everyone left with a full load of contracts. Even Tianya and Li Qing'er were taken by Li Huaye to see the vast world outside the Heaven and Earth Bank. The entire Heaven and Earth Bank suddenly became a Heaven and Earth Bank where only Li Xiandao and Shao Qi were present. Li Xiandao naturally took Shao Qi's hand and strolled through the Tiendi money shop. Then they embraced. Of course, that's all. Li Xiandao had been holding Shao Qi for less than 15 minutes when Shao Qi pushed him away and left, her face flushed. Li Xiandao did not insist, and in a good mood, he went to the inheritance hall. Having not visited the inheritance hall for some time, Li Xiandao met Zhao Wudi, the sword god, the Taoist, and Zhong Baixing there. These 4 people are living a very comfortable life now, chatting and joking around, saying whatever comes to mind, quite carefree and content. Previously, everyone was unfamiliar with each other because of their masterly demeanor or their reserved nature, and they were not good at talking. But now, thanks to Li Xiandao's mediation, everyone has become familiar with each other and naturally has things to talk about. I'm preparing to open the gates to immortality, Li Xiandao told the sword god, revealing his plan. The sword god was taken aback, then nodded and said, "It's time to open it. 30,000 years have passed. If we don't open it now, our backbone will probably be pierced." Li Xiandao shook his head and said, "You are heroes. You prevented the immortal realm from interfering with the 9 heavens and 10 earths. You prevented the people of the 9 heavens and 10 earths from being enslaved by the immortal court. You gave the immortal court a resounding slap in the face and told them that the people of the 9 heavens and 10 earths are not to be trifled with. Now it seems the immortal gate must be opened, but 30,000 years ago, it had to be closed. 30,000 years ago, immortals descended to the mortal realm at will, treating the 9 heavens and 10 earths as places for pleasure and entertainment. It was completely open. Anyone could come and take away anything they wanted. Some even murdered millions of people to create magical artifacts. Someone massacred over a dozen major cities, creating a hell of bones. These blood-stained stories are recorded in many ancient books. People back then did not live as well as they do now. People today should be grateful to the Sword God and Elder Tianqi for their contributions and sacrifices. Forget it, there's no point in talking about the past. Are you confident in unsealing the immortal sect? The Sword God shook his head and sighed, not wanting to recall the past, and asked Li Xiandao. Li Xiandao raised his head and looked at the sky, his hands behind his back, and said, "Even if there are 3 million immortals in the heavens, they cannot enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths through the immortal gate. This is my promise to you, Li Xiandao." Chapter 562 A New Guest Arrives. Part 1. Li Xiandao's statement that he wouldn't allow the celestial beings to descend from heaven was not a simple statement. It wasn't something that could be resolved with just a few words. This requires action. After reuniting with the Sword God and the others for a while, Li Xiandao got up and left. Li Xiandao no longer needs the guidance of the Sword God, Zhao Wuji, the Taoist, and Zhong Baixing. Because Li Xiandao has already reached the pinnacle of the 9 heavens and 10 earths, and he possesses 19 great worlds, all of which combined make Li Xiandao invincible in this era. All Li Xiandao wanted to learn was the way of the immortals. The path to immortality requires entering the immortal realm and seeking guidance from others in the inheritance hall. These 4 people taught Li Xiandao the true essence of cultivation in the 9 heavens and 10 earths, but they could not teach him the subsequent cultivation in the immortal realm. Therefore, the Taoist no longer needs to worry about Li Xiandao coming over and draining him dry, and can rest in peace. Li Xiandao left the inheritance hall and returned to his room. He was pondering how to stop immortals from descending to the mortal realm after opening the immortal gate. The gate to immortality is currently closed, preventing immortals from entering. However, if it were to open again, Li Xiandao would be there and could stop it. Once Li Xiandao ascends to the immortal realm, his energy will definitely be focused there. He can't frequently descend to the mortal realm to use the heavenly bank to traverse between the two realms and prevent immortals from descending. This is unrealistic. There's no such thing as being able to guard against thieves for 1,000 days if you're a thief for 1,000 days. Therefore, Li Xiandao needed a way to prevent the immortals from descending to the mortal realm. Or perhaps it's to prevent ordinary immortals from descending to the mortal realm. After racking his brains for a while, Li Xiandao still had no clue. At this moment, he thought of Shao Qi. Summoning Shao Qi over, Li Xiandao asked, "Is there any way to prevent ordinary immortals from crossing realms at will?" Li Xiandao didn't intend to ban the truly powerful figures, but ordinary immortals were not allowed to enter, especially those with ill intentions. Li Xiandao had to prohibit them. Shao Qi thought for a moment and said, "I remember there is a record in the ancient war book about a rare battle formation called the Mass Pit. It might be effective. Go and ask the ancient war book." Li Xiandao nodded and said, "Then I'll go ask." The war tome, carrying the Burning Legion, has been cultivating in the scorching heat and is now gradually reaching a high level. The environment of the fiery sky was particularly suitable for the Burning Legion, and with the guidance of the ancient Book of War, their progress was rapid. Li Xiandao sensed that they were all at the Heavenly Fate realm, and all of them had seized the Heavenly Fate 9 times. They swept through the fiery sky and made the major forces of the fiery sky tremble in fear. Li Xiandao smiled, communicated with the ancient warbook, and said, "Has the Burning Legion progressed this quickly?" "Yes, Master, they have now passed their infancy and entered their growth period. Their rapid progress is only natural," the ancient Book of War immediately replied. "With the scorching heat and the guidance of ancient war books, people's hearts will naturally progress quickly." Li Xiandao said with satisfaction, "Very good. The Burning Legion will surely intimidate all the heavens in your hands." The ancient war book said firmly, "I will definitely train them well." "By the way, do you have a battle formation that prevents ordinary immortals from entering the 9 heavens and 10 earths?" Li Xiandao asked. After careful consideration, the ancient Book of War replied, "Yes, it is called the Mass Pit of 10,000 people. It is a very bloody battle formation that requires the execution of 10,000 immortals to set up." Li Xiandao said nonchalantly, "It's all right. I estimate that once the immortal gate opens, there will be many, many immortals who want to come in. All of these people will be punished, which will be enough to provide the materials you need. Then there's no problem. Master, just call me over if you need me. It's time for the Burning Legion to show its power." The ancient Book of War said in a deep voice. Li Xiandao nodded in satisfaction and said, "There's no rush. I'll give you the contracts for the other worlds in the 9 heavens first, and let the Burning Legion handle them. Once those contracts are settled, you can bring the Burning Legion to the Azure Heaven." "No problem," the ancient war book readily agreed. Li Xiandao ended the conversation and said to Shao Qi, "Compile all the other contracts in the 9 heavens and send them to the Book of War so that the Burning Legion can handle them." Shao Qi smiled slightly and said, "I'm all ready. We can go now." Li Xiandao said with satisfaction, "As expected of my good helper, let me give you a kiss. Get out of my way, don't even think about taking advantage of me." Shao Qi blushed and pushed Li Xian away. Smack. However, Li Xiandao still managed to capture her red lips with his mouth, successfully launching a sneak attack. After entering the 9 heavens, Li Xiandao dealt with the contracts of the 3 worlds, Cold Moon Heaven, Hell Heaven, and June Heaven. Now all his subordinates are dealing with the contracts with the heavens. There are still 5 worlds left. They are Chention, Shention, Yution, Haotian, and Yantion. The total number of contracts in these 5 worlds exceeds even the heavens. Li Xiandao, carrying these contracts, used the Heaven and Earth Bank's ability to traverse worlds to arrive in Yantion. In the sweltering heat, in a world close to the sun, the sunlight is intense and the temperature is extremely high. The people here are all extremely heat resistant. The races of the blazing sky are all connected to the sun, For them, the blazing sky is better than the heavens. Therefore, although the population of Yantian is not large, those who live in Yantian are the races most suitable for Yantian. They will ascend to Yantian and will not go to Zongtian. But now, the Burning Legion rules the world. 10,000 fire giants, each at the peak of the 9 heavens mandate, sweeping out like this, who could withstand it? Even if all the experts in the fiery sky were combined, they wouldn't be enough to defeat the Burning Legion. So now, the sun is the territory of the Burning Legion. The Burning Legion has taken over the sun. Just as the Qin family occupied the moon in the cold moon heaven, the Burning Legion seized the sun and bathed directly in it. How could they not progress rapidly? With guidance from ancient war manuals and nourishment from the sun's energy, the Burning Legion has reached the same level as Xiandao. All that's left is ascension. Under the blazing sun, the fire giants of the Burning Legion diligently cultivated their powers. Unable to advance their cultivation levels, they pounded their bodies to make them invincible. When Xiandao arrived here, he was amazed by the high temperature. There was nowhere to put his feet, so he floated in the air and talked to the ancient war book. At such high temperatures, the ancient war books floated up and were not burned. These are all contracts from the 5 worlds. Are you confident that you can resolve them within 3 months with the Burning Legion? Xiandao asked. No problem, master. The war book readily agreed. Xiandao looked at the giant flames soaking in the sun with satisfaction and said, All right, resolve these contracts and come to see me in the heavenly realm immediately. I need you to set up a battle formation then. Okay. The ancient book of war lit up and he agreed in a deep voice. Xiandao turned and left, burning 1,000 top-grade spiritual energy dragon veins, returning to the heavens. Now Xiandao can rest assured and wait for the arrival of 3 months later. Master, we have a guest. But to his surprise, as soon as he returned to Zongtian, Shao Qi came to inform Xiandao. Chapter 563 Mo Xian. Part 2. Have we had some new guests? Xiandao had originally planned to go into seclusion every 3 months to consolidate his cultivation, but now it seems he still has to entertain guests. The Heaven and Earth Money Shop could not refuse any customers who came in. Who are you, and what do you want to trade? Xiandao asked, walking towards the trading hall. Shao Qi followed behind and said, A disciple of the demonic path, named Mo Qian, has come to trade something that is very important to him. Xiandao nodded, making a mental note of it, and said, Lead him to the trading hall. Shao Qi immediately went to fetch the person, and Xiandao met the other party in the cold trading hall. A cold-faced young man, dressed in black, with a handsome face and remarkable cultivation, was at the peak of the heavenly fate realm, which is the realm of 9 times seizing the heavenly fate. Moreover, Xiandao observed that there was a terrifying power surging within his body, seemingly about to break free and surge out at any moment. This power did not belong to this person. However, due to the suppression of the Heaven and Earth Bank, or rather, because Mo Xian entered the Heaven and Earth Bank, the energy within her body was suppressed. Xiandao gestured and invited, Sit down, and tell me what you want to trade? Can the Heaven and Earth Bank really trade everything? A hint of doubt appeared on Mo Qian's cold face as she looked at Xiandao, but deep in her eyes, Xiandao saw her expectation. Mo Xian was questioning Xiandao, but at the same time he wanted Xiandao's answer to be affirmative. Xiandao smiled slightly and said, The Heaven and Earth Bank can trade anything in the world. There is nothing we cannot accomplish, provided that you can afford the price. Mo Xian's eyes lit up with joy upon receiving Xiandao's affirmative reply, and a slight smile appeared on his usually cold face. However, because he hadn't liked to smile for a long time, the smile felt a little awkward. Xiandao looked at him and said, Speak, what do you want to trade? I want Tiendi Chenjuang to save my life, Mo Qian whispered. Xiandao raised an eyebrow, having roughly guessed the reason, but still asked, Why was your life threatened? I'm going to be possessed. Mo Qian said this through gritted teeth, filled with resentment. Who wants to possess you? Xiandao thought to himself, as expected, The power in your body is indeed poised to possess me. It was the power of the heavenly bank that was suppressing it. Otherwise, it would have already possessed the body. They are immortals, immortals from the immortal realm. They found my sect, persuaded my teacher, lured me into the formation, and then had the immortals possess my body, Mo Qian said coldly. Your sect and master would be willing to let you be possessed? Li Xiandao asked suspiciously. You have already seized the mandate of heaven 9 times and reached the level of a venerable. You look to be less than 300 years old. This is truly remarkable, Li Xiandao added. He had seen through Mo Qian the moment he entered. Mo Qian said expressionlessly, even if I am a genius, I am still just an outsider in the 9 heavens and 10 earths. The immortal promised that once he possessed me and used my body to complete the mission and open the immortal gate, he would give my master a spot to serve in the immortal court. This benefit is much greater than that of a disciple. So he tricked me into entering the formation and let the immortal soul descend to possess me. Although Mo Qian was expressionless when she said this, Li Xiandao could still tell that she was very sad. Mo Qian's strength is not only due to his own genius, but also inseparable from his master's cultivation. He regards his master as his own father, but now he has been pushed to the edge of a cliff by this biological father. Is the immortal soul trying to seize your body inside you? Li Xiandao asked. Mo Qian nodded, still shaken, and said, I also obtained the pocket watch by accident. After receiving it, I hesitated, wondering whether to crush it. But when the immortal tried to possess me, I remembered that the heavenly bank could help me. The heaven and earth bank can help you, but what can you give me? Li Xiandao countered. Mo Qian remained silent. Your opponent is an immortal. The greater his value, the greater the price you will have to pay, Li Xiandao said softly. I am willing to give my whole life. Mo Qian looked at Li Xiandao, her eyes bloodshot, and said firmly. Li Xiandao raised an eyebrow and looked on calmly. For the rest of my life, I, Mo Qian, will regard you as my master. Your orders are above all else, and I, Mo Qian, will fulfill them even if it means my death, Mo Qian said in a deep voice. He knew his opponent was an immortal, and he also knew that his greatest backer in the past was his sect, but now his sect was also his enemy. He can only rely on himself. The only things of value to me are my time, my cultivation, and my loyalty. As a member of the demonic path, Mo Qian had no illusions like others. He knew that if he wanted to gain something, he had to give something in return. Mo Qian paid the price with her entire life, in exchange for the continuation of her life and the death of this immortal. I will sacrifice myself, my entire life, and all my cultivation to serve my master. My master's orders are above all else, and Mo Qian will forever be my master's shadow. I will use all of this to exchange for the death of this immortal. I will kill him with my own hands, Mo Qian said coldly. He's ruthless. Didn't you want to possess my body? I will die with you right now. I will sacrifice myself and become a slave to others in order to kill you. Upon hearing Mo Qian's words, the suppressed immortal within Mo Qian's body became extremely excited, wishing he could immediately break free, possess Mo Qian, and prevent her from having the opportunity to commit such a self-destructive act. However, the power of the heaven and earth bank was so overwhelming that he could not break free. Li Xiandao smiled, clapped his hands, and said, I admire your decisiveness. Let's sign the contract. Shao Qi handed over the contract, and Li Xiandao immediately pushed it to Mo Qian. Mo Qian stared at the date of her sale. It was so glaring, a lifetime. I'd trade this lifetime for the death of an immortal. No. Inside Mo Qian's body, the immortal roared and screamed in great terror. He was starting to feel afraid. Mo Qian smiled. His smile was a little awkward, but very handsome. You shouldn't have come to me. When I, Mo Qian, get ruthless, I won't even spare myself, Mo Qian said coldly, and wrote down her name. The contract is in effect. Li Xiandao put away the contract, handed it to Shao Qi, and then stood up and walked to Mo Qian. Mo Qian was very tall, about the same height as Li Xiandao. Looking at Li Xiandao, she lowered her head, knelt on one knee, and softly called out, "Master!" Li Xiandao reached out and pinched Emo Qian's shoulder, saying, "Get out here." With a fierce grab and a flick, the soul of an immortal was flung out. Bang! The immortal's soul was flung to the ground, suppressed by the power of the heavenly bank, rendering him unable to move. He lay on the ground, glaring at Emo Qian with resentment, and roared, "How could you be so ruthless? You've served me like a dog your whole life, and you still want to destroy me. We can talk this out. I won't destroy you. I'll complete my mission and return to the immortal realm. You'll still be you." "Why did you do this?" the immortal roared. "Since you've come to me, I have no choice but to destroy you, no matter the cost," Emo Qian said coldly. "My body won't allow you to interfere. I find it disgusting," Emo Qian said arrogantly. Chapter 564: The True Dragon and the Earthworm. Part 3. The immortal stared at Emo Qian in disbelief, completely unable to understand what he was thinking. "I am an immortal. It is your blessing to occupy your body." The immortal trembled with anger. "I don't think immortals are anything special. Give me time, and I will definitely surpass you," Emo Qian sneered. You've offended the Northern Loach Emperor. You're going to be in big trouble." The immortal screamed hysterically, driven mad by Emo Qian. "It was supposed to be a perfectly good possession, and I could leave after completing the mission. The process could have been perfect. But because of Emo Qian, everything was wiped out. Before this happened, no one cared about Emo Qian's thoughts. The immortals didn't care, the Northern Loach Emperor didn't care, and Emo Qian's master didn't care either. In the eyes of these people, when an immortal possesses a body, Emo Qian's soul will be devoured without leaving a trace. Perhaps Emo Qian's master will shed a few crocodile tears at that time, but that's all. However, Emo Qian spoke up. He disagrees. Even if it meant sacrificing everything, he wouldn't agree. Li Xiandao looked at the immortal, a smirk playing on his lips, and said, "You just mentioned the Northern Loach Emperor? You know the Northern Loach Emperor?" The immortal stared at Li Xiandao, his expression brightening with delight. "Since you know about the Northern Loach Emperor, you should know how powerful he is. I was sent down by him. You should release me immediately and let me possess this boy. Then this matter will end here," the immortal said hastily. "I won't tell Emperor Baichio. I know you're powerful, so I'll pretend nothing happened and that we've never met," the immortal added. "What they really think is unknown, but what they say sounds very nice." Li Xiandao laughed upon hearing this, squatted down, and asked, "Do you know why the Northern Loach Emperor sent you to the mortal realm?" The immortal's heart skipped a beat. Looking at Li Xiandao's smile, although it was a smile, it was a terrifying sight in his eyes. "Because it's to open the gates to immortality." The immortal trembled slightly as he answered. "Why open the immortal gate?" Li Xiandao asked with a smile. Because we need to enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths." The immortal was frightened by Li Xiandao. "Then, why enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths?" Li Xiandao asked again. "I don't know." The immortal trembled and retreated, weak, pitiful, and helpless. Li Xiandao looked at him, his smile turning cold, and said, "Let me tell you, because I took the immortal artifact of the Northern Loach Emperor and destroyed his soul. He is now furious and wants to come down to the mortal realm to kill me. He made you open the immortal gate so that he could enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths." The immortal's entire soul froze instantly. This guy just walked right into a trap. "Now you know your situation, right?" Li Xiandao stood up and said calmly. "Can you spare my life?" the immortal pleaded pitifully. "Ask Emo Qian," Li Xiandao said coldly. Emo Qian asked directly, "How would you like me to pay my respects next year?" The immortal opened his mouth and said, "I can give you treasures and cultivation techniques, and I can even give you guidance. As long as you release me, you will receive great benefits." "I don't like nonsense," Emo Qian said coldly, her body suddenly trembling. Boom. Behind him, 3,000 black crows flew out, screeching as they pounced on the immortal soul. Mo Xian's miraculous technique, 3,000 ink kills. The 3,000 black crows were his powerful motivation. After flying out, it directly devoured the immortal's soul. Not a single grain is left. Then the 3,000 black crows returned to his body, and the black crows knelt down and said, "Thank you for saving me, master." Xiandao said with satisfaction, "Get up. From now on, follow me and watch carefully and learn well. You have a lot of room for improvement." Mo Xian nodded. "Your master betrayed you, don't you resent him?" Xiandao led Mo Qian out of the trading hall and into the corridor. In front of them was a vast square, and in front of the square were endless mountains, some of which had been unsealed, while the others were shrouded in mist. Mo Xian followed behind Xiandao and said, "I am an orphan. I became a disciple of the sect and was taken in by my master. Along the way, he gave me most of his resources. Although he had ulterior motives in training me, I still don't want to kill him." Xiandao remained non-committal and did not express his opinion. "This matter ends here. He gave me hope, and then he gave me despair. I have repaid his kindness. From now on, we will go our separate ways and not interfere with each other," Mo Qian said firmly. Xiandao nodded and said, "All right, follow me from now on and be my shadow." "No problem," Mo Qian said softly. "Let's go. I'll take you to choose a few secret manuals. The cultivation techniques you're currently practicing, apart from 3,000 ink kills, are all trash," Xiandao said disdainfully. Mo Qian's eyes lit up. She didn't care about Xiandao's disdain. Instead, she felt a warmth in her heart. Xiandao then took Mo Qian to the Universal Library, where he selected several secret manuals for Mo Qian to practice. "There's no one left at Tiandi Money House now. You have to work hard on your own. I have many geniuses under my command. If you don't work hard and get abandoned, don't blame me," Xiandao told Mo Qian before leaving. "I know," Mo Qian said firmly. After resolving a contract, Xiandao went to find Xiao Qi and they spent time together in her flower garden. As the two were being affectionate, Xiandao's mind began to wander. Xiao Qi immediately thought of a topic. "Do you remember the immortal who was imprisoned in the Heaven and Earth Bank mentioned the great Emperor Gaochen?" Xiandao then remembered that there was an immortal imprisoned in his Heaven and Earth money house. Where is he now? Xiandao had almost forgotten about him. "He's been loitering around the Heaven and Earth Bank, so I've sent him to guard the treasury. I've punished him by making him guard the treasury for 30,000 years, Xiao Qi said. Xiandao nodded and said, "That's a good idea. If they perform well 30,000 years later, we'll release them." "You mentioned Emperor Gaochen. Is there a problem?" Xiandao asked Xiao Qi. "Didn't that immortal say that once you open the immortal gate, Emperor Gaochen will appear, and he will definitely enter the immortal realm through the immortal gate?" Xiao Qi reminded Xian. "That's right, when I open the immortal gate, Emperor Gaochen will appear, but I don't know where this reincarnation of Emperor Gaochen is." Xiandao asked in confusion. He wanted to recruit this Gaochen emperor, but it seems that this idea is no longer feasible. Emperor Gaochen had his own ideas and continued to remain hidden in the vast sea of people. Finding him was like finding a needle in a haystack. "We should still keep an eye on them. After all, they're big shots from the celestial court," Xiao Qi reminded them. "How does it compare to the Northern Loch Emperor?" Xiandao asked, since they both have the word emperor in their titles. Compared to someone like Emperor Baiqiu, Emperor Gaochen is a true dragon in the heavens, while he is just a mudfish on the ground. Although they both have the word emperor in their titles, the difference between them is like heaven and earth, Xiao Qi said bluntly. Chapter 565 You are Emperor Gaochen. Part 4. Under the vast sky, in a large forest, waterfalls cascade in the distance, and birds sing and flowers bloom nearby. Inside a room, a man and an ox were sitting together. "Master, why don't you ascend to heaven?" a large yellow ox asked in a human voice, puzzled. The young Taoist priest, who was brewing tea, said lazily, "Wouldn't my ascension now be exactly what they want? But we can't stay in the 9 heavens and 10 earths any longer. We can't grow here at all. You can't waste any more time." The big yellow ox was very anxious, swishing its tail, and was a little irritated. "After all these years, you still can't calm your personality down. You're so impulsive and rash. You're not a monkey," the young Taoist priest scolded. The big yellow ox felt wronged, lay down on the ground, and didn't want to say anything. Seeing his pitiful look, the young Taoist said helplessly, "You're like this again. I really shouldn't have brought you down to the mortal realm. It's all because my master is so secretive, never telling me anything, making me worry about you all by myself," the big yellow ox said, feeling wronged. "Why are you worried? Or rather, what are you worried about?" the young Taoist priest countered. "You must quickly improve your strength, return to your peak, and regain your glory," the big yellow ox said excitedly. "You haven't forgotten the enemies in the celestial realm, have you?" the big yellow ox asked. "The enemy is right there. He can't escape, and he won't die. Sooner or later, I can kill him," the young Taoist said helplessly. "I'd be uncomfortable if he got away with it for even a day. You're in this state now, and it's all his fault," the big yellow ox said indignantly. "All right, from now on, you're to be silenced for 3 days. You're restless and agitated right now, and with your ascension approaching, your condition is very strange." The young Taoist frowned and stared at the big yellow ox. The big yellow ox opened its mouth, wanting to argue, but in the end it went outside to eat grass. The young Taoist took a sip of tea, shook his head, and said, "The hatred is there, just don't forget it. Take revenge when you have the chance, instead of keeping it in your heart all the time and turning yourself into a weapon of hatred. You must control your emotions, instead of letting your emotions control you." The big yellow ox shook its tail in frustration, unable to understand why it didn't improve itself as soon as possible and enter the immortal realm to take revenge. Alas, if you don't change your mindset and thoughts, it will be difficult for you to make any progress in the future. Right now, your mind is full of hatred, but you've forgotten that this ordeal wasn't a bad thing. "At least I learned a lot and gained a lot of insights," the young Taoist said calmly. The big yellow ox seemed to quiet down now, then slowly savor the master's words. This master and servant pair are naturally Tai Xian and the great yellow ox. They entered the heavens early and are now waiting for something here. Tai Xian said with dissatisfaction, "Think it over carefully, sort out your irritable mood and emotions before you speak, otherwise shut up." The big yellow ox nodded, finally beginning to reflect on itself. "It's in a hurry." After reflecting on it, the big yellow ox slowly returned to its owner's side and asked, "Who are you waiting for here?" Tai Xian smiled slightly, took out a blood-red pocket watch, and said, "I'm brewing tea, waiting for a senior." Click. Tai Xian crushed the pocket watch in his hand, then calmly began to brew tea. Inside the Heaven and Earth Bank, Xiandao was discussing with Shao Qi who was superior between the great Emperor Gaochen and the Emperor Baiqiu. Suddenly, Xiandao felt a thought and received a signal. The blood-red pocket watch he gave away was crushed. That cause and effect. Xiandao knew clearly in his heart that he had taken a cause back then, and now he had to repay the other party with a result. "I'm going out for a bit." Xiandao got up and left. Shao Qi didn't ask why, and watched Xiandao leave. After leaving the Heaven and Earth money shop, Xiandao determined a direction and then took a step out. With mountains and rivers at his feet, Xiandao's single step directly led him to the place where Tai Xian lived in seclusion. The mountains are beautiful, the waters are clear, and the birds sing sweetly. The verdant mountains stretch endlessly, the undulating land resembles a dragon coiled around, and in the distance, a waterfall hangs down like a silver river. Nearby, wisps of smoke rise from chimneys, and the houses along the paths exude a vibrant sense of daily life. There are thatched houses, bamboo houses, courtyards, vegetable gardens, and rice paddies. Tai Xian lived in seclusion in a small village with about 100 people. They lived a peaceful and self-sufficient life, free from worldly strife. Tai Xian's house was halfway up the mountain, while the villagers were at the foot of the mountain. Li Xiandao took another step and arrived at the door. It is an honor to have such distinguished guests. Please forgive me for not being able to greet them properly while I am brewing tea. Please forgive any rudeness I may have caused. The gentle and refined voice of the Tai Xian gentleman rang out. Li Xiandao pushed open the door and went in, where he saw the old ox and Tai Xian brewing tea. Li Xiandao didn't stand on ceremony and sat directly opposite Tai Xian. He watched Tai Xian's every move, which was extremely elegant, and Tai Xian's tea brewing skills were superb. As Li Xiandao looked at him, an idea formed in his mind. But he didn't say it aloud. Instead, he watched as Tai Xian brewed the tea and poured it into a cup before speaking. Do you want the fruits of the seeds you sowed back then? Tai Xian smiled and nodded. Yes, I said that you are my destined one, senior. This connection has truly been made. Li Xianer looked at Tai Xian's cultivation level, the peak of 9 times seizing the destiny of heaven. He is at the same level as me now, but of course there is still a gap in energy, since Li Xiandao has 19 great worlds after all. You wouldn't happen to want me to open the gate to immortality so you can ascend to heaven, would you? Li Xiandao asked, looking at Tai Xian. That's right. Tai Xian nodded, readily admitting it. So the reincarnation of the great Emperor Gaochen that some immortals descended to Earth to find was you, Li Xiandao said, revealing his guess. This Tai Xian is the reincarnation of the great Emperor Gaochen. Back in Hanyue Heaven, he met Li Xiandao by chance and formed a good bond, which led to the scene of the two of them sitting together drinking tea. When Li Xiandao revealed Tai Xian's identity, the big yellow ox outside the house widened its eyes and stared at Li Xiandao fiercely. Tai Xian frowned as he watched it, then reached out and shooed it away, apologizing to Li Xiandao. Please excuse my rudeness. It's just that I'm eager to protect my master, Li Xiandao said indifferently. You guessed right, I am the reincarnation of Emperor Gaochen, so I cannot ascend to the immortal realm. I need to use the immortal gate to enter the immortal realm and then travel far away. Tai Xian nodded. You want me to open the gate to immortality right now? Li Xiandao asked. No rush, any time within 6 months is fine, Tai Xian said, giving a time frame. But only half a year later, he had to ascend to the immortal realm, where the remains of Emperor Gaochen were still waiting for him. Li Xiandao relaxed upon hearing this and said, 3 months later, the immortal gate will open. After I fight the immortals in the heavens, you will be able to fly into the immortal realm. Tai Xian happily replied, no problem, I can wait 3 months. Li Xiandao picked up his teacup and savored the early spring tea with Tai Xian. It has a sweet taste. Chapter 566A Declaration to the World. Part 5. Once Li Xiandao confirmed that Tai Xian was indeed the great Emperor Gaochen, he gave up the idea of recruiting him. Tai Xian had his own ideas and goals, and he was not willing to submit to Li Xiandao. At least for now, Li Xiandao cannot make him submit. So the two of them drank tea together, and then Li Xiandao got up and left. Before leaving, neither of them mentioned the immortal sect again. Some things, once said, need not be repeated. After returning to the Heaven and Earth money shop, Li Xiandao immediately began his seclusion. He went into seclusion in the Great Hall of Time. Inside the Hall of Time, there are also 3 demon god pillars, which Li Xiandao originally intended to use to enhance the world's strength. However, the ancient war book said it was used for setting up battle formations, so Li Xiandao thought about it, gave one away, and kept 2 for himself. These 2 demonic pillars, along with the core of the world from the previous era, were integrated into Li Xiandao's 9 heavens and 10 earths. Li Xiandao's seclusion was not for breaking through a realm. His realm had already reached the peak of the 9 heavens and 10 earths, and he could not break through any further, so he had to enter the immortal realm. However, Li Xiandao's 19 great worlds still have enormous room for improvement. Li Xiandao didn't want to become an immortal in the mortal realm from the core energy of the previous era, so he used it all to improve himself. His abilities are improving by leaps and bounds. The 19 great worlds are increasing their strength. Although Li Xiandao's realm remains unchanged, his power has increased dramatically. At this moment, the entire Qiandi money shop seemed to fall silent. These 3 months passed peacefully, and no customers came to the Qiandi money exchange. Seemingly knowing that Li Xiandao was in seclusion, the pocket watch did not seek out a suitable guest. Those who go out to resolve contracts are all striving to close each contract. Tian Guangming had the most contracts. He took the most money all by himself and was constantly busy everywhere. Every time he visits, Tian Guangming will knock politely on the door. "Who is it?" "Just checking the water meter." Tian Guangming smiled faintly. Checking the water meter and delivering packages are the 2 words Tian Guangming likes to use the most. Every time he asks the host of the contract, does he intend to pay the penalty for breach of contract? If he received a negative answer or was given a delaying tactic, Tian Guangming would not waste any words and would take action immediately, giving the other party no chance to react. Almost everyone in the entire heavens, including those of great power, received a visit. Those who borrowed things from Qiandi Quanzhuang back then have now grown into the backbone of various forces, or even high-ranking members. Now that Tian Guangming and his group have come knocking, each of them will naturally have to face a different sect. This is perfectly understandable. Fortunately, Li Xiandao's men were very strong and capable, able to withstand the pressure and wreak havoc, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies. In the first month, the major powers were still very resistant. By the second month, the major powers had fallen silent, knowing that Tian Guangming and his group were all formidable figures, and that resisting them would cause an even greater upheaval. In the third month, when the major powers saw Tian Guangming and his group arrive, they immediately released the contract host and stopped paying attention to the matter. These changes within just 3 months made all the major powers in Songqian aware of just how powerful Tian Guangming's group was. However, compared to the difficulties the Celestials faced in handling contracts, the Burning Legion handled contracts with remarkable efficiency and decisiveness. Sweep. This can no longer be described as easy. It's a sweeping victory, a crushing defeat. The Burning Legion split into 5 groups. At the same time, they declared war on the 5 worlds and demanded the return of the treaty. None of them could withstand the Burning Legion for 5 minutes. When the Burning Legion comes knocking, your first instinct is to pay the penalty for breach of contract, or you'll die. The Burning Legion's great sword could cleave mountains and split peaks, and beheading you would be a piece of cake. 3 months later, Qiandi Money Shop. Tian Guangming and his group have returned and are standing in the square. They were waiting for Li Xiandao's arrival, each one full of energy and exuding extraordinary presence. Meanwhile, the ancient Book of War led the Burning Legion into the Heavenly Bank. Thump, 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 rumble. The procession was massive, with each of the 10-meter-tall Flame Kings being taller than the Titans and Giant Kings, their muscles bulging, wielding giant swords, forming a battle team as they marched across the plaza. My God! Tian Guangming was so startled that he couldn't speak. Such intense firepower, and their bodies, auras, and steps are all in unison. This is an invincible army. Blood Dragon exclaimed in surprise. Is this the Master's army? The Chaos Dragon Crocodile was dumbfounded. It belongs to the Master. I've been there before. Back then, they were still cultivating in Hell Heaven. I never imagined they'd have reached this level now, the old Taoist priest remarked. The Book of War was flying in mid-air, along with Lamo, who was now learning from it as its disciple. He was doing well and making progress. The Burning Legion pays homage to its master. Upon arriving at the plaza, 10,000 Firelords knelt in unison on one knee and roared. The sound was like a violent thunderclap, making one's eardrums buzz and almost causing deafness. This completely intimidated Li Xiandao's subordinates, leaving them utterly demoralized. Compared to the Burning Legion, they were truly pathetic. Even Lonling Wang, upon witnessing this scene, couldn't help but sigh. I feel like I can't defeat the members of the Burning Legion. Whether it's fighting one-on-one or attacking as a group, at best you can only manage a draw with the Burning Legion right now, Li Xiandao said calmly as he slowly walked out of his room. Master! the subordinates immediately greeted. Li Xiandao waved his hand, telling them not to stand on ceremony, then looked at his burning legion with bright eyes and a smile on his face. "Get up," Li Xiandao shouted. Boom. The 10,000 flame kings rose in unison, their movements perfectly synchronized, as if they were being controlled by a single head. "This is the King of Flames, born from magma." Li Xiandao gave them the ancient war manuals that were extremely powerful in the early stages to use as instructors, and this training has already shown initial results. Li Xiandao looked at them and laughed heartily. "Good, my burning legion has only now gained momentum and combat power. As the saying goes, after cultivating for a long time, you also need to practice. I will use immortals as your practice targets. Remember, you are not allowed to let any immortal from the lower realm escape." "We obey our master's orders." The burning legion roared in unison, their momentum soaring, that Li Xiandao and his men retreated in fear. Their aura was too intense. "All right, now hand over everything you've confiscated to Shao Qi. I'll head out now." Li Xiandao nodded in satisfaction, took a step, and arrived at Songtian. At the summit of a great mountain, Li Xiandao walked slowly. There was some distance from the sky, but he could still see the stars of the Tian Shan Mountains. Li Xiandao closed his eyes, adjusted his aura, and suddenly pointed to the sky, saying to the people of the world, "Today, Li Xiandao opens the gate to immortality here, opening a path to immortality for all living beings. I only hope that those who are diligent, hardworking, and courageous in climbing will be able to see the dawn of immortality. Listen up, celestial beings. The gates of immortality are open. Whoever enters will die." Li Xiandao shouted this to the celestial beings. Chapter 567, Opening the Heavenly Gate. Part 1. Li Xiandao's voice echoed throughout the heavens. Everyone looked up, staring incredulously at the heavens. This person actually wants to open the heavenly gate? Did he just threaten the immortals? Countless powerful forces, holy lands, sects, dynasties, aristocratic families, academies. Everyone looked up at the sky, and everyone was tense. Many people who were trapped in the 9th tribulation realm and dared not undergo the tribulation were moved to tears. Really? Is someone really coming to open the gates to immortality for all cultivators in the world? The immortal gate has been closed for 30,000 years, and very few people have ascended to immortality. Most people dare not cultivate after the 9th attempt to seize the mandate of heaven. Now, finally, there is a channel for ascension. Some elderly people wept bitterly, their white hair mingling with a mixture of joy and sorrow. Some people wailed, "I am old and frail, and my lifespan is almost over. You are opening the gate to immortality now. You have missed the best years of my life." Some young people were full of vigor. "Finally, we can ascend normally. Once the gate to immortality opens, I will definitely be able to ascend to the immortal realm within 1,000 years." In the endless snowfield, a woman sitting on a throne looked down at the sky above the central plains with an aura of dominance and brilliance. "You defeated us and took away the energy at the core of the world. Instead of thinking about becoming an immortal in the mortal realm, you actually want to open the gate to immortality." The Ice Queen never expected Li Xiandao to have such a strong foundation. Opening the gate to immortality for all people and creating a passage between the mortal and immortal realms was a grand ideal. Even though she was a woman, she admired such boldness. In the chaotic graveyard, a coffin trembled a few times before its lid was lifted again. The Taoist priest from the ancient city crawled out, his eyes gleaming with excitement. He exclaimed, "Good lad, you are indeed powerful. You have defeated us and are invincible in the mortal realm. Now you are about to open the gate to immortality. My chance has come." The Taoist priest of the ancient city no longer has to wait silently for death. He can enter the immortal realm, improve himself, and complete his journey as a rogue cultivator. Shi Potian, the king of the north, was so excited that he seemed to have returned to his youth. He laughed loudly and said, "Li Xiandao, I love you to death. You are the best Li Xiandao in the world. Go for it. Open the gate to immortality." Xiandao and the others originally thought that they would not be able to survive the next few tribulations by making excuses, but now Xiandao's move has given them hope for survival. Not to mention these words, Xiandao would not mind even sleeping with Xiandao. Of course, Xiandao would definitely mind. Excited, expectant, and even questioning, disdainful, and doubtful gazes were cast into the sky as everyone watched silently. Rumble. The same sky, watched by everyone under heaven, suddenly exploded with a deafening roar. White clouds churned, space tore apart, chaos descended, covering a vast area and encompassing most of the sky. A massive portal slowly emerged. The bronze gates are carved with ancient gods, demons, Buddhas, hell. The moment this enormous bronze gate appeared, countless people held their breath. Immortal sect. This is the immortal sect that countless people yearn for. Many people who saw this were immediately moved to tears and knelt on the ground. They had pursued the immortal sect all their lives, thinking they would never see it in this lifetime. Now that they had seen it with their own eyes, their feelings were extremely complex. The immortal gate was sealed tightly, its ancient and magnificent aura surging and spreading in all directions, pressing down with a thunderous roar that shattered the sky like a mirror, breaking the white clouds. Thump. The immortal gate remained suspended in mid-air, enormous in size, resembling a great wall that blocked the immortal realm from the 9 heavens. No one can cross this celestial gate. Like fleeting clouds and ever-changing worldly affairs, 30,000 years have passed, and the immortal sects have reappeared. Some immortals who had possessed other bodies or been reincarnated had complex expressions when they saw this scene. Their purpose in descending to the mortal realm was to open the gate to immortality, but now they didn't need to search for it. The gate to immortality was right in front of them. However, this immortal gate was opened by a man named Xiandao. They were very hurt because they didn't open it themselves. A person walked towards the gate of immortality, which everyone was eagerly anticipating. A young man dressed in white, with flowing black hair and bright eyes. In that instant, everyone in the heavens knew of Xiandao, this tall, slender, and exceptionally handsome man. Many people were excited. Xiandao had appeared, and the immortal gate had also appeared. Could he really open the immortal gate and find a path to immortality for all living beings? At this moment, the sunlight shone down fiercely, and the immortal gate seemed to be draped in a layer of rosy clouds, colorful, beautiful and flawless, extremely holy and grand, standing in the void, awe-inspiring. Xiandao, dressed in white, was as beautiful as a painting, with unparalleled elegance. The afterglow of the sun shone on him, making him radiant. Standing before the immortal gate, his upright figure illuminated everyone's hearts, making them unconsciously choose to believe that he could hold up the sky. Such heroic spirit is probably unmatched even by the legendary immortals, an elder exclaimed. It's not just his feeling. Many people share this sentiment. The dashing Xiandao arrived at the immortal gate, but instead of opening it immediately, he looked at the handprint on the gate. Bloody handprint. This is a person's bloody handprint, very clear. The blood has not dried over the years and remains lifelike. Xiandao recognized whose bloody handprint it was. Tianqi Elder. He attained enlightenment in the cold moon heaven, rose to prominence in the azure heaven, and gained fame before the immortal gate. His most glorious battle, which was also his last, was when he single-handedly closed the immortal gate. With the gates of immortality closed, it has become extremely difficult for immortals to enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths for the past 30,000 years. This bloody handprint reveals just how much pressure the heavenly pool elder endured back then. Xiandao could vaguely see a stubborn old man standing before the bloody handprint, resisting the immortal realm in his own way. Immortals can descend to the mortal realm at will, arbitrarily arrange events in the 9 heavens and 10 earths, kill people at will, and act tyrannically. Then we, the people of the 9 heavens and 10 earths, can also fight back, close the immortal gate, and fight against the immortal realm on our own. Back then, he displayed unparalleled brilliance. Even if it wasn't even a fraction of his peak, it was still enough. 30,000 years later, Xiandao arrived at the immortal gate. His expression was indifferent. He took out the key to the immortal gate, inserted it, looked at the bloody handprint, and guaranteed. The contributions that the senior made to the 9 heavens and 10 earths cannot be erased or forgotten. From now on, the immortal gate, which has been closed for 30,000 years, will be opened. Rumble. Xiandao inserted all the keys and then forcefully pulled open the immortal gate that had been sealed for 30,000 years. At this moment, countless people stared wide-eyed, not blinking, afraid of missing even the slightest detail. Under their watchful eyes, the gate to immortality opened little by little. Rumble. The surging immortal energy also poured in, but a clang, the sound of a weapon being drawn, resounded through the sky. Clang. A burst of celestial light erupted and surged forth, instantly unleashing a vast and imposing celestial light barrier. With an unparalleled aura, a divine sword of the heavenly Tao rose up and cleaved down. The target of this heavenly Tao divine sword is Xiandao. Chapter 568 Severely Injuring Emperor Baiqiu. Part 2. A long sword cleaved down with force, originating from the celestial realm, a slash from the wrath of an immortal. Arrogant fool, you're courting death. A cold shout came from behind the immortal gate, accompanied by the rumbling sound of the endless abyss, rising and falling, carrying a massive aura that shook the past and present, chilling people to the bone. This is the power of immortals. This divine sword brought with it a mighty and unstoppable aura, like the surging waves of a vast ocean, under which a cold light burst forth and fell. Under the sun, Xiandao's entire body was bathed in golden light. The divine sword fell against the light, causing countless onlookers to hold their breath and watch in shock. If Xiandao is killed and the immortal sect closes again, won't their hopes be shattered? So at this moment, whether you like Xiandao or not, you're all cheering him on. For no other reason than that everyone wants to see the immortal gate open wide. Xiandao, who was being targeted by the divine sword and watched by everyone, raised his head and looked at the divine sword. This was not a physical long sword, but a convergence of boundless divine laws, a strike from Emperor Baiqiu, an acquaintance of Xiandao. The moment the immortal gate opened, Emperor Baiqiu made his move. He had been waiting for this opportunity for a long time, waiting for the immortal gate to open so he could enter the 9 heavens and 10 earths and kill Xiandao. Now that the gate to immortality is open, even though Xiandao opened it himself, it doesn't matter. His goal is to kill Xiandao. Therefore, he unleashed his strongest attack, striking fiercely at the enemy. In the immortal realm, Emperor Baiqiu coldly stared at Xiandao, his eyes filled with killing intent. He believed that his sword strike would be enough to kill Xiandao before he even entered the immortal gate. But he was wrong. It's true that this sword strike was his strongest attack, but Xiandao was in the 9 heavens and 10 earths, not in the immortal realm. The power of the 9 heavens and 10 earths has an upper limit. Exceeding this limit will result in weakening. Therefore, when this divine sword fell upon the heavens and earth, Xiandao only made one move, which was to strike with both fingers. Clang! This extraordinary divine sword shattered under Xiandao's fingers, and the divine power within vanished into nothingness, turning into a dazzling light that disappeared before the immortal gate. As for Xiandao, he stood unharmed in front of the immortal gate and forcefully opened it. Boom! A tremendous roar shook the heavens, and the immortal gate was completely opened. The billowing immortal energy and the supreme immortal realm beyond the immortal gate appeared before everyone's eyes. At this moment, countless people were so excited that they danced with joy, tears welled up in their eyes, and their bodies trembled. The gates to immortality have truly been opened by Xiandao. The immortal gate, which had been closed for 30,000 years, was completely opened at this moment. The gates of immortality opened wide, and Xiandao faced the immortal realm directly. The vast immortal realm lay before them, an incomparably enormous world, larger than any world Xiandao had ever seen. Once, when Xiandao looked up at the 9 heavens from the 10 lands, he felt that the vastness of the 9 heavens was immense. But now, looking up at the celestial realm from the heavens, Xiandao finally understands what vastness truly means. Even a corner of the immortal realm was something Xiandao could only look up to. The next second, a figure appeared in front of Xiandao. The Northern Loch Emperor arrived in his true form, traversing the void between the two realms. He was incredibly powerful and terrifying, his immortal aura overwhelming. You opened the gate to immortality yourself, which is tantamount to digging your own grave. I'm here to kill you. Emperor Baichio roared, directly crossing the gate to the heavens. Boom. He entered the azure heaven in his supreme true form. Although his cultivation and strength were suppressed for a moment, reaching the upper limit of the azure heaven, he was still terrifying. It's terrifying. When the Northern Loch Emperor made his move, countless strands of the great Tao descended, and various rays of light fell down, intertwining together to form a bolt of lightning that enveloped Xiandao. This move, accompanied by celestial music and a burst of auspicious colors, descended and was extremely terrifying. This is what immortals are like. Even with their cultivation and realm suppressed, their power is still terrifying when they make a move in the heavens. At this moment, Xiandao finally understood why the old man of Tianqi was so determined to close the immortal gate. Countless people were amazed by the attack of the Northern Loch Emperor. This immortal from another realm was terrifyingly powerful and wanted to kill Xiandao, which attracted the attention of many people. Xiandao was not nervous at all. As long as he didn't fight with the Azure Heaven and the Northern Loch Emperor, he would be fine. Clang. Xiandao took out his amethyst sword, his eyes lighting up with excitement. I named the sword technique I created Human Immortal Slayer, and now is the time to slay immortals. Without hesitation, Xiandao launched his first sword strike, unleashing the power of the purple crystal sword without flinching. So what if you're an immortal? I am the immortal slayer of the mortal realm. The first blow reveals the myriad aspects of human nature. As this sword strike was unleashed, images of everyday life, the myriad aspects of human existence, the incense offerings of ordinary people, the continuation of dynasties, the decline of families, and so on, appeared all around Xiandao. These scenes together form a peerless sword technique, showcasing the myriad aspects of human nature. Even immortals are human. He cannot escape the realities of human life. Boom. Xiandao's sword strike was now at its full power, far surpassing the initial force he had unleashed. Xiandao was now far stronger, and the 19 great worlds trembled at that moment, providing him with new abilities. Therefore, Xiandao's sword strike directly caused the void in front of him to collapse, with chaotic light appearing and disappearing, creating a small world and adding a kind of creation energy to it. The Northern Loch Emperor's expression changed. Xiandao's move was so powerful that it had exceeded the limits of this world, but the world's rules did not punish Xiandao. Rumble. The next second, he was struck by Xiandao's sword. He felt a sharp pain in his chest, screamed loudly, struggled, and vomited a lot of blood. The immortal's body was cleaved open by Xiandao's sword, a large gash appeared in his chest, and blood gushed out. This scene stunned everyone around. The immortal had crossed over to kill Xiandao, but in the blink of an eye, Xiandao slashed out with his sword and tore the immortal's chest apart. What kind of development is this? Are immortals really that weak? They didn't know that when immortals entered the 9 heavens and 10 earths, their cultivation and strength were suppressed, so at first glance they seemed very weak. Because he couldn't withstand more than 3 moves from Xiandao. The first sword strike unleashed a slash across the myriad aspects of human nature, followed closely by the second. Snow-covered mountains at dusk. This was a sword move that closed the distance in an instant. Xiandao pressed his advantage and flashed behind the Northern Loch Emperor, striking the Northern Loch Emperor's heart with a powerful sword strike. This sword pierced through the heart of the Northern Loch Emperor, causing him to scream in agony as a tremendous burst of energy erupted from his body, instantly sending Xiandao flying. I underestimated you. You are very powerful in the heavenly realm, but no matter how powerful you are alone, can you be as powerful as my celestial court army? Emperor Baichio covered his wound and quickly flew out of the celestial gate, not daring to enter the heavenly realm again. He gritted his teeth and looked at Xiandao. Let your celestial army come, Xiandao said with a cold smile. Chapter 569 An Army of 30,000. Part 3. Li Xiandao still regrets that he did not completely kill the Northern Loach Emperor. The current Northern Loach Emperor is very powerful to Li Xiandao. If it weren't for the fact that the Northern Loach Emperor's strength could not be fully unleashed in the Azure Heaven, Li Xiandao would not be able to fight against him even with 19 great worlds. Moreover, his immortal body was too powerful. Even when Li Xiandao pierced his heart with the purple crystal sword, he was still able to be knocked away and escape from the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Although he was seriously injured, his life was not in danger. However, it was still good that he was able to severely injure the Northern Loach Emperor. At least he wouldn't dare to step into the 9 heavens and 10 earths again. Emperor Baichio clutched his heart, his eyes cold. He suddenly waved his hand and shouted, "Kill! Slaughter into the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Give me a great purge. Kill all those who disobey the celestial court." Boom. There was a buffer zone between the 9 heavens and 10 earths and the immortal realm, but now a gap has been opened, the heavens and earth have collapsed, and powerful and terrifying auras surge forth, sacred and vast, pressing down. 30,000 immortal soldiers emerged from this opening, each possessing unparalleled imposing presence, a truly awe-inspiring sight. Kill! This army of 30,000 men headed straight for the immortal gate, which was now wide open. They could come in and go as they pleased. Rumble. The scale of this event was extremely grand. Just now, only the Northern Loach Emperor, an immortal, rushed over and fought with Li Xiandao. He was even beaten and forced to flee in panic by Li Xiandao. Everyone saw this and didn't think it was anything special. But now, with 30,000 immortals rushing over, even the most confident person couldn't help but tremble at the sheer force of the attack. The world was a vast expanse of white, filled with celestial light, murderous intent, and the arrival of immortals. As one immortal after another crossed the celestial gate and entered the heavens, people truly despaired. How do we fight this? Li Xiandao is only one person, yet he can fight 30,000? The triumphant laughter of the Northern Loach Emperor rang out. Li Xiandao, kneel down now and beg for mercy like a dog, and I may spare your life. Li Xiandao said coldly, I came to open the immortal gate, and I was already on guard against the immortal court's army. I wonder if this is the Imperial Guard or the enforcement team. The Imperial Guard and the enforcement team are both forces of the Celestial Court, but they are managed by different people, and they also have some ideas about the 9 heavens and 10 earths. We are the Imperial Guard, and the 9 heavens and 10 earths must submit to us. You lowly commoners from the lower realms are nothing but lowly people, the leader of the Imperial Guard said disdainfully. Li Xiandao looked at them with great arrogance. Each of them was full of pride and had the air of immortals. They looked down on the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Even though their cultivation and realm were suppressed, they still believed that they could sweep across the 9 heavens and 10 earths. You've come at the perfect time. I've been raising an army, but I've never had the chance to show it to the world. Now that you immortals have descended to the mortal realm, it's clear you've forgotten what I said before, Li Xiandao said with a smile. Do we need to listen to what you're saying? The commander of the Imperial Guard looked at Li Xian with disdain. I said, those who descend to the lower realms will die. Li Xiandao's expression turned cold. Ha ha ha, this is the funniest joke I've ever heard. We have 30,000 immortals, can you kill them all? The mocking voice of Emperor Baichio came. He was mocking Li Xiandao for being arrogant, presumptuous, and overestimating his own abilities. Li Xiandao raised his head and said, Since you don't believe me, then please die now. As soon as Li Xiandao finished speaking, the sky behind him suddenly cracked open, and bursts of powerful fiery energy erupted out. Rumble. At that moment, the sky seemed to burst into flames, and 10,000 fire giants appeared behind Li Xiandao, each 10 meters tall, powerful in size, and wreathed in flames. They were fierce and menacing, wielding a giant sword, their auras intertwined. Li Xiandao's Burning Legion shocked everyone when it first appeared in the public eye. 10,000 10-meter-tall fire giants, extremely powerful, with cold expressions and soaring fighting spirit. Kill them. Li Xiandao waved his hand indifferently. 10,000 fire giants were sent to kill 30,000 immortals, who are also the Celestial Court's imperial guards. Xiandao instead ordered them to take the initiative, precisely because of his confidence. Having been trained in ancient war texts and mastered the art of battle formations, if they couldn't even handle these 30,000 immortals, then Xiandao's hopes would have been completely dashed. Knock knock knock. Upon receiving Xiandao's order, 10,000 fire giants raised their giant swords in unison, stepped through the void, and charged towards the 30,000 immortals. 3 people form a team, 3 teams form a group, and 3 groups form a small battle formation, which can help muscles recover from fatigue, heal injuries, and so on. Every 10 small battle formations form a large battle formation, which can effectively strangle the enemy within its range. It also has other effects, such as healing oneself after killing someone, or absorbing their energy, etc. This is what makes battle formations so terrifying. As long as they remain focused, they are like a perpetual motion machine, capable of killing until the enemy is completely wiped out. To defeat a battle formation, the first method is to exert overwhelming pressure and directly destroy the formation. Secondly, before the battle formation was established, some flame kings were killed, reducing their numbers. Thirdly, there's the battle formation method of confrontation, but no matter what, you can't compare to the telepathic connection of 10,000 flame kings. Rumble. With a sweep of the flame king's greatsword, it struck the head of an immortal, instantly unleashing raging flames that resembled magma descending from the sky, capable of corroding a person in an instant. The Flame King's cultivation level is now quite high, on par with Xiandao. Dealing with these immortals whose cultivation and realm are suppressed is a piece of cake for him. Boom! The giant sword slammed down, and the immortal immediately retaliated, unleashing his ultimate technique to kill the King of Flames. But all his efforts were in vain. The Flame King, who had bathed in the sun, would not care about such a small attack. With a swift strike of his great sword, he smashed the immortal into a bloody pulp. This was a terrifying scene. A celestial being was smashed into a pulp without any chance to resist, because his attack hit the King of Flames and had no effect whatsoever. The Flame King's defenses were practically maxed out, and with the protection of battle formations, these 10,000 Flame Kings charged into the 30,000 celestial guards, wreaking havoc, and no one could stop them. Some immortals took the initiative and transformed into a divine phoenix to charge forward. But all that awaited him was the Flame King's cold and merciless great sword. Bang! A violent collision occurred as the divine phoenix and the giant sword clashed, emitting an immortal light that caused the entire world to collapse. The divine phoenix could only withstand the impact for a few seconds before vanishing completely. The giant sword, still possessing terrifying power, slashed down directly. The immortal was split in two. The King of Flames opened his mouth and spewed out thick magma, burning the immortal's soul as a direct tonic and swallowing it. These imperial guards who came to the 9 heavens and 10 earths had no idea how terrifying Xiandao was, nor how powerful the King of Flames was. So, in this clash, they immediately realized the difference in strength. There is no one who can defeat them. Because of the world's suppression of cultivation levels, these celestial court guards are the same as the Flame King. However, in terms of combat strength, the two are worlds apart. The arrival of these 30,000 immortals is just in time. Use your lives to help me set up this grand formation. The ancient Book of War came to Xiandao's side, looking at the battle in the vast void in the distance, and said with satisfaction. Chapter 570 Total Annihilation. Part 4. When he saw Xiandao's burning legion, Emperor Baiqiu was still full of confidence. After all, how could 30,000 people fight against 10,000 people, and those were 10,000 fire monsters from the 9 heavens and 10 earths, compared to immortals? However, when the King of Flames killed a royal guard with a single sword strike, the Northern Loch Emperor's expression changed. Even though your cultivation level is suppressed to the same level, you shouldn't be able to be killed by a single sword strike, right? The Northern Loch Emperor could never have imagined that Xiandao's burning legion was bathing in the sun, pounding their bodies, their brute strength unmatched. Chaos-crushing array. The ancient Book of War roared, causing the Burning Legion to fully activate the massive array of 10,000 men. Rumble. Wan Iran, the Fire Lord of the Burning Legion, had instinctively adjusted his grand formation, uniting the auras of 10,000 men to encircle the entire Celestial Guard, forming a massive array. Knock, knock, knock. Above the void, the thunderous sound of war drums echoed through the heavens and earth. Immortals had taken out their celestial artifacts, which emitted countless rays of light, sweeping across the sky like a silver river descending from the heavens, displaying immense power. Bang! This terrifying celestial artifact delivered a fatal blow, striking the body of a Flame King and piercing through him, leaving a massive black hole at his heart. The immortal was overjoyed. They weren't invincible, they're dead now. Is that so? The Flame King, whose heart had been blasted into a black hole, raised his head, his eyes filled with rage. His heart was actually repairing itself rapidly. At this moment, he was not the only one repairing. The other 9,999 Flame Kings were helping him repair. 3 seconds later, his injuries were completely healed. The King of Flames grinned and said, "You want to kill me? You still can't." The immortal stared blankly, terror on his face. Even his deadly attack with his immortal weapon couldn't kill this monster. How could he possibly fight it? Rumble. The Flame King, having recovered from his injuries, slammed down with a giant sword. He wasn't just moving alone. His actions had far-reaching consequences. At that moment, the entire Burning Legion moved. Kill! 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 Countless shouts transformed into the bloody word kill, terrifying and overwhelming, as the giant sword swung and blood gushed forth. In the void, this scene left everyone speechless. 30,000 immortals descended to the mortal realm, majestic and awe-inspiring. The people in the heavens were filled with despair, believing that Xiandao was doomed and that they themselves had to submit to the celestial court. But in the blink of an eye, these 10,000 Flame Kings appeared and began their slaughter in a domineering manner. Yes, a massacre. The 10,000-strong Burning Legion faced off against the 30,000 Celestial Guards, resulting in a one-sided and crushing defeat. It wasn't the Celestial Guard that crushed the Burning Legion, but rather the Burning Legion that crushed the Celestial Guard. The Celestial Guards launched a frenzied attack on the Burning Legion, but if they failed to kill them in one blow, the Burning Legion would regenerate rapidly, becoming stronger and stronger with each battle, which was extremely terrifying and drove the Celestials to the brink of mental collapse. "I want to leave this hellish place." One immortal immediately wanted to leave the heavens and depart through the immortal gate. However, Xiandao did not give him this opportunity. He stood in front of the immortal gate, his slightly thin body at this moment like the most solid mountain, blocking the way to leave. "Get out of my way!" the immortal roared, wielding a massive divine axe that cleaved down to split Xiandao in two in the void. His stance was like creating the heavens and earth, unleashing a torrent of chaotic energy. It was incredibly powerful. He was surrounded by the elements of earth, wind, water, and fire, as if he had truly created a new world. Boom. But Xiandao remained unmoved and watched coldly in the face of all this. He doesn't need to make a move. Someone else will naturally take care of this immortal. Rumble. A massive hand engulfed in flames fiercely blocked the divine axe. A 10-meter-tall figure appeared, blocking the immortal's path, and coldly said, "My master said that everyone in the lower realm must die. You want to escape. Unless you have the cultivation level of the Northern Loach Emperor, which you don't." So the fire giant formed a hand seal with one hand and slammed down a giant sword with the other. The atmosphere was powerful, with raging winds, scattered clouds, and chaos reigning over the world. In the distance, bones and blood splattered, while nearby, the giant sword fell, and the immortal, his face contorted with rage, forcefully met the attack with his divine axe. At that moment, everyone went deaf and couldn't hear anything. The huge impact caused many people's ears to bleed. Countless onlookers felt fortunate at that moment, thankful that they were far enough away, otherwise everyone would have died, turned to dust, and not even a trace of blood would have remained. This was a terrible shock. The shock waves were so enormous. It was as if it had pierced through the 9 heavens. It was a great catastrophe. Behind the great destruction, the divine axe flew out, the immortal's arms broke off, and the giant sword smashed down, turning the immortal into a bloody pulp. This is an extremely terrifying fact. In the contest of power, the immortals lost to the King of Flames. This was only one aspect of the battle. In other areas, everyone was fighting each other, and the immortals suffered heavy casualties. The entire heavens fell silent at that moment, and everyone looked at Xiandao with awe and shock. How exactly did Xiandao cultivate this invincible army? Xiandao's men all came out to watch the battle, a scene that filled everyone with pride. So what if they're immortals? They were slaughtered by their master's army. The sky was bright and clear, and the first thing I noticed was the immortal artifacts and treasures on the immortals' bodies. These immortal artifacts and immortals must possess treasures. Let's go and collect them for our master, Tian Guangming suggested. Everyone agreed and began to search everywhere, collecting all the magical artifacts and treasures from the corpses of immortals. Beyond the realm, the Northern Loch Emperor witnessed this scene, closed his eyes, and felt a heart-wrenching pain that made it hard to breathe. He was already in excruciating pain from a pierced heart, and now, seeing his only remaining army being slaughtered, he was utterly helpless. As long as Xiandao comes out, as long as the Burning Legion emerges from the 9 heavens and 10 earths, Emperor Baiqiu can swear that he will kill them all within a minute. Unfortunately, Xiandao knew that once he went outside, he would lose all his advantages, so he was separated from Emperor Baiqiu by a single immortal gate. On a mountain peak, Tai Xian, the reincarnation of the great Emperor Gaochen, sat reclining on the back of a large yellow ox. He was utterly dumbfounded when he saw this scene. How many secrets does this person still hold, having killed 30,000 celestial court guards across the 9 heavens and 10 earths? Tai Xian murmured. Master, could this person also be the reincarnation of some old codger? The big yellow ox asked. Impossible. Tai Xian categorically denied it, saying, if he were a reincarnation, I would definitely be able to sense it, but he didn't give me that feeling. This person is truly formidable.